ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकम् भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter 47, verse number 62. This is the last verse, second last verse of Uddhava's prayers. So in the previous verse he said that he wants to be born in Vrindavan as some creeper, some bush, so that he can get the dust of the feet of the gopis on his head, because it is not possible to do that in this life. And then he praised the gopis that they have sacrificed everything to serve Sri Krishna. And although he has met various devotees, but he has not met anyone who is devoted like the gopis. But Gaudiyas have gone one step beyond gopis now, right? They don't want any dust of gopis, they want something beyond. So that Uddhava probably will not understand that. So in the next verse he says, Ya vai shriyarchitam ajadibhirapta kamair yogeshwarairapi yadatmani rasa goshthyam krishnasya tad bhagavatas charnarvindam nyastam staneshu vijahu parirabhyatapam. So who are these gopis? He already said this in the previous verse, that they gave up Swajan, they gave up Aryapatha, which are very difficult to give up, almost impossible. And even Shrutis are searching for the feet of Krishna. So that feet they have attained. So he is continuing that not only that, but they are so great that not only they got Krishna's feet, but they got Krishna's feet on their breast. So that's what he says here to show the greatness of the gopis. So he says that Yavai Shriyarchitam Ajadibhir Aptakame Yogeshwarai. So Krishna, who is worshipped by Shriya and Brahma, etc., all the great sages, Aptkama, those who have achieved their wishes, Yogeshwaras, Kumaras. So that Krishna, he gave his feet, Krishnasya tad bhagavatas charnarvindam. So, and he is not only just some avatara, but he is Krishna, he is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Bhagavata hai Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. Charnarvindam nyastam. So put his feet, and it is not that they forcibly took his feet, but he put his feet out of pleasure, happiness, pleased by their service. Nyastam staneshu vijahu parirabhyatapam. And in this way they gave up the tapa, or the suffering, grief caused by separation from Krishna. So this is most amazing thing, because people cannot get even a glimpse of Krishna's feet, but to speak of touching them. But the gopis have yatte sujat charnamburohesu bhita stanidadimahi karkashesu tenat vimatsi. So they think that his feet are so soft that they fear to put them on their breast, because they may feel hurt by the hard breast. But Krishna was happy to do that. So he is the same Krishna who says, Na pariham nirvadya sanyujam, that I am unable to ascertain the amount of love, amount of sacrifice you have done for me. He says, I cannot pay it back, even if I live the life of Brahma. So that is the greatness of the gopis. Punarapi tasam lakshmyadi durlabha vastu labhan mahatmya mahan. So again Uddhava is describing the glories of the gopis, Mahatmya, by comparing it to Lakshmi and all the other great sages and devotees. Lakshmi adi durlabh vastu labhat, that they have attained something which is most rare to achieve. Bhakti itself is called Sudurlabha, but they have Krishna's feet. Yavai ya eva, so only they and no one else. Staneshu nestam Krishna's charanarvindam parirabhya tapam jahu. So Krishna's lotus feet, which were placed on their breast, they embraced and gave up their grief of separation. Yat khalu shriya lakshmya ajadibhischa atmani mansiye varchitam natu sakshat sprashtum sakyam. So Lakshmi, Brahma, all the great sages, they can only worship Krishna's feet in their mind, but they do not get the opportunity to touch them. When Brahma came here, after he realized who Krishna is, and he recited beautiful prayers in his praise, Namidyate bhavapuse traditambaraya gunjavatans pariprichalasan mukhaya. So very lengthy prayers, one of the longest prayers, and very beautiful prayers by Brahma. But at that time he did not dare to touch Krishna's feet. If he wanted, he could have done it. He just bowed down, did parikrama and left. And Krishna did not speak one word to him. He was just silent after hearing such nice prayers. And that same Krishna is putting his feet on the gopi's breast. And he's saying, I cannot pay back your service, what you have done to me. So this is the comparison he's making. So therefore he says, Yavai Shriya Architam Ajadi Virapta Kame. So Mansi Eva Architam Natu Sakshat Sprashtum Sakyamiti Bhave. Yadvanchaya Shri-Lalna Charattapai Ityadi. And the Nagpatnis also prayed. When they were praying to Krishna, they said, how is that this Kaliya snake has become so fortunate that he has your feet on his head? This is most amazing. So he says, even Lakshmi is not having this fortune. Sri Lalna Charattapa. She is hankering to touch Krishna's feet, but not possible. And Kaliya snake, Krishna was dancing on his head. So this is most amazing. So Sri Lalna Charattapa Ityade Ras Goshthyam Rāsa-līlā. And that also Krishna did it in the Rāsa-Bhā, in the assembly of Rāsa-līlā. So this is the most wonderful praise of the gopis by Uddhava. And then finally he concludes in this one sloka. Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarenum Abhikshnasaha Yasham Harikathodgitam Punati Bhunatrayam. So he says that I worship feet dust continuously, Abhikshnasa, of Nanda Vrajastrinam, of these women of Vraja, of Nanda Maharaj. And singing their glories purifies the all three worlds. Bhuvantrayam Punati. So Yasam Harikatha Udgitam Punati Bhunatrayam. So much respect. He says, I only worship. I am not qualified to worship the feet. I worship Padarenu. That also just one Renu, one dust particle, not many. So Padarenum Adbhikshnasa. That's all my qualification, that I want to worship one dust particle from the feet of the gopis. any gopi, for the rest of my life, abhikshnasa. So, evam mahatvam pratipadya pranamati vandaiti. So, after establishing the glories of the gopis, he bows down to them. Concludes. Padrenum abhikshnam. So worship the dust continuously. Tatrapi shashpratyayena pratikshanam eva. Natu trikalam panchkalam. So abhikshnam, and he says abhikshnasha. So shashpratyaya is applied, means at every moment, not like you do puja of the deity 3 times, morning, noon time, evening, or 5 times in the temple. So he says, at every moment I want to worship, means I don't want to forget them. Yavad anayasena tatprapti anukula trinadijan bhagyam me na bhutiti bhava. Because earlier he prayed to be born in Vraja, but he says that will take long time, so what am I going to do in the meantime? So he says, meantime I will just worship dust from their feet. Yasam udgitam yad karmak uchchair ganam eva harikatha bhuvantrayam pavitri karoti. So who are these gopis? That if their harikatha is sang loudly, uchchai ganam eva harikatha, then it purifies all the 3 worlds. So what is the purification? He says, avidya malinyadi, that impurity is ignorance, because from avidya comes asmita, from that come raga and dvesha, and from that come all other problems, pravritti, dosh pravritti. Then avidya, kam, karma. So first ignorance, then wrong desire, then wrong action, then wrong result, and then we are nicely set in the cycle. Evam pravartitam chakram. Krishna has set this cycle. Avidya. When Brahma created, first thing, what did Brahma create? Avidya. He created a vidya. This is also vidya. This avidya is not just absence of knowledge. It's wrong knowledge. So it is also a type of knowledge, a vidya. And then everybody is influenced by that. Everybody likes that. You tell someone truth, they don't like. They want avidya. Because when you get used to eating certain food, you don't like something which does not taste like that. If you like food cooked Indian style, then you don't like salad and boiled vegetables. But if your taste is boiled vegetables, you don't like Indian cooking. So we have developed a taste of avidya. So therefore we like things which are mixed with avidya. That we appreciate very much. Pure avidya also people don't like. And mixture is good. Sankar. It's called Vidya Sankar. Avidya Sankar. So there is one Sankar and there is Avidya Sankar. So mix together, then it tastes nice. So that's what. So this is the impurity, avidya malinya. All impurity is avidya. Nahi Jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. Tasmayam yogasham siddha. Kalena atmani vindati. So Krishna says that there is nothing which purifies you more than this knowledge. Nothing else. That's why people don't like it. Because it's against their taste. Pure. So you cannot eat pure chili. A little bit mixed is okay. That gives taste. So therefore he says that their stories, their katha purifies the three worlds. So now we don't want that also, we want something beyond that. That's also mixture. So prakarane yasmin vyasadi mahavaktrinam tatparyam evam. So he says that in this particular subject which was going on, which started when Uddhava came here. When Krishna called Uddhava, he took his hand in his hand and he said, I want you to do something very special for me. And then he told that he would carry this message to Braj, and especially he said to my parents and to the gopis. So his main message was to the gopis, but he is not going to say just that. So he mixes everybody. So what is the intention of Vyasa? It is Vyasa who is writing this. So he has a purpose. So therefore he is now giving the tattva, the pure vidya, the real stuff. So 24 karat comes now. So it says Vyasadi Mahavaktrinam Tatparyam idam. So Vakturichhatu Tatparyam. What is called Tatparya? Tatparya means what is the intention of the speaker. He may say so many things, he may tell you stories, that there was traveler, then there was tiger, then there was golden bracelet. It's a story. But behind the story there is some reality. So our life has two things. There is a reality and there is a story. So everything is a story. Life is a story. Everybody has their story. And in story, there is little reality also. Rest is story. So Vyasa is telling stories. So many. He is very good in telling stories. If you want to know stories, then read Mahabharata. People read that Harry Potter or whatever, You should read Mahabharata and see the wonder of stories. Most amazing. But in the story, there is tattva. There is some hakikat. Right? You heard this word hakikat? There is a kahani and there is hakikat. There is a story and there is truth hidden. So idea is to tell you the truth. But if he gives you the truth, you would not like it. So he tells you the story, which you like, because I already said that we are used to avidya. So then he mixes that and then he gives you the truth hidden. Like you get a package. So you order one pen, so it's thin, this much size, but the package will come this big. First the company itself will have a very nice package. Then Amazon will put another package. So you open it, then you open it again, then you open, finally get small pen. So that is the story and the truth. So this is how life is. Because if they simply sell the pen, then you won't buy. He says, what is this? No packing? So people are looking for package. Even if you go for a job these days, they say, so what is the package? right? So they are not just interested in the salary, but what is the package? The package is very attractive. So therefore we have to get rid of the package and see what is the tattva. So he gives this here. So therefore he says Vyasadi Mahavaktrinam. He is a speaker, Vyasa, author, speaker. He calls him there as speaker. But he is not ordinary speaker, he is a Maha speaker, Mahavaktrinam. Means he is not speaking just because he has this push, Vacho Vegam. Some people have Vacho Vegam, right? So they cannot keep quiet, They have so much Vega, the push, the force of speech, that they cannot keep it. They have to say it. So he is not like that. He is Mahavakta, means he speaks only for the benefit of others. But he is so compassionate that he knows that even if I speak for the benefit of others, people will not take it. So I have to package it. So therefore, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is unpacking it. And then he says like this. Very nice the way he writes it. So Vyasadi Mahavaktrinam Tatparyam Idam. So this is the Tatparya. This is what is called Tatparya. Vaktorichatu Tatparyam. So Sarva Bhagavatanam Madhye Krishna Sambandhina Shrestha. So there are Bhagavatas. Who are Bhagavatas? Bhagavata means devotees. So Bhagavata Idam Ayam Iyam Bhagavata. So Bhagavata are bhaktas, servants of Bhagavan. Various types of devotees are there, because there are various forms of Bhagavan are there. So he says among all the devotees, various types of devotees, and then devotees, not only that they have different Ishta Devatas, but different relations. Dasa, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhuri. So he says that Sarva Bhagavatanam Madhye Krishna Sambandhina Shrestha. So among all the types of devotees, Krishna Bhaktas are Shrestha. Why? Krishnasya tasya eva swayam bhagavatvat. Because Krishna is Shrestha. He is Swayam Bhagavan. So his bhaktas are Shrestha. But you cannot tell this to outside. This is to be kept within yourself only. Otherwise people will be upset and abusing you. So he says Krishnasya tasya eva swayam bhagavata. Because only he is Swayam Bhagavan. Others are not Swayam Bhagavan, they are manifestations from him. And then Krishna among Krishna Bhaktas, Tatrapi Tal-Līlā Parikara Esha Antaranga. Then among his Bhaktas there are Nitya Siddhas, his Līlā Parikaras, those who are always with him, Nitya Siddhas. So they are the best. And among them are the gopis, Esha, Antaranga. Anyesham, no, he is not talking about gopis, Esha, Antaranga. Parikara, Antaranga, because they are Antaranga, they are very intimate with Krishna. Anyesham tad anugatatvat. And others are following them. So there are Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Nishtaye Brajvasi Janade Tesam Bhavakte Lamte Prabhaveta Bhikarima. So then others are following them, Raganugas. So these Ragatmikas are best. And Teshu api Sriman Uddhava. Among the Antaranga Parikara, Uddhava is supreme outside. Babaji is the topmost. And Krishna himself has said this, Tvam tu bhagavateshu aham. So just as in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, it's called Vibhuti Yoga. So Krishna describes his vibhutis. So he says, Pandava nam Dhananjaya, Vrishni nam Vasudeva asmi, Pandava nam Dhananjaya. Among the Vrishnis I am Vasudeva, Balaram, and among Pandavas I am Dhananjaya, Arjuna. Some say Bhima, right? So it's okay. Bhima, Arjuna, any one of them. So similarly, there is one chapter in Bhagavatam also, maybe in 19th, 20th, something, somewhere there. So there also Krishna is speaking about his vibhutis to Uddhava. And there he says, Tvam tu bhagavateshu aham, that among the devotees I am you. He is pointing out directly to Uddhava that among the Bhagavatas I am Uddhava. Among the Bhaktas I am Uddhava. So Uddhava is such a great person. He is counted among the Vibhutis. And he also said, Na Uddhava anu api manyuna, that Uddhava, you are not less than me even by one atom. Anu api, anu, everybody knows what is anu. So atom, manyuna, less than me. So this is Krishna speaking about Uddhava. Now this Uddhava is speaking about gopis. Mande nanda vrajastrinam padrenam abhiksha. So you can imagine now the position of the gopis. So therefore he says ityadi darshanad asyapi idrishi bhavaspriha tasu adaro adhika. So he says that even such a person like Uddhava, he has this desire to worship the dust particle from the feet of the gopis. So what can we understand from this? Na jatu patta mahishi shu api iti. So he says he does not have this type of desire for the queens of Krishna. When he came at that time there were no queens but later on. So he did not have this type of adar, this type of respect or this type. It's not that he was not respectful to them or he did not worship them, but not like the gopis. He never said, I want one dust particle from the feet of the queens of Krishna in Dwarka. So na jatu patta mahisheshu. Kenava tasam charan kamalam na anugamniyam. So who would be that person who would not like to follow in the footsteps of the gopis? Except one category of people. They don't want. But everyone else respects them. So kena va tasam charan kamalam nanugamniyam. Who is that person? Tatrapi Sri Radhaya. And then Vaishnav Toshni says that of beyond all that, among the gopis also, it is Srimati Radha. So this is from the Vaishnav Toshni. It's actually citing from there, this last part. It's from Jiva Goswami's. So he says there only one thing is added, Dhanyam cha. That is also showing his Dhanya, his humility, how humble he is. Generally it is not difficult, it is very difficult to be humble like this. If somebody is having such a position and then coming, if you practically try to see, he comes from a royal family and then he comes and he is praying to these women who from normal social convention, they are just ordinary women, not some great scholars, not some great sages or tapaswini or anything like that. But he is giving such high respect, adaro adhika. So this is the greatness of gopis, and this is the end of his prayers. So now he leaves Vraja because he stayed here for a few months. So Shri Shuka Vacha Atha Gopiranuggyapya Yashodam Nandamevacha Gopanamantra Dasharho Yasan Aruruhe Ratham. So then he took permission from the gopis to leave, and also from Mother Yasoda and Nanda Baba, and he bade farewell to the cowherd man Gopan, and then he was ready to leave and he climbed onto his chariot. His chariot was parked, horses were eating nice grass in the Vraja along with the cows. In Mathura, they are probably eating bhusa. Here they got green grass, happily running around in the forest. Now they have to go back. So he sat in the chariot. So anugyam yachitva. So after taking permission from the gopis and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and Amantra Prishtva, and then also from the cowherd man. Tam nirgatam samasadya nanopayan panayah nandadayo anuragena pravochanna shrulochanaha. So when he was leaving, then he came out from the house, he is on the road, and he sat in his chariot. So then the Gopas, they came there because it was a very emotional scene. They know that he is going to Krishna. So they are full of love for Krishna, and out of love their eyes were full of tears. Even Nanda Baba, Yashoda, they are old people but they are crying. So much love for Sri Krishna. And they are bringing various types of gifts to give to Krishna. Everybody brought some gift. He must have a big chariot to carry all the gifts back with him, because gifts were not small things, like one big pot of butter, another one of ghee, yogurt, laddu, some rasgullas, some sweets, milk things they make all the time. So, and now everybody is bringing some garlands, some ornaments, some cloths. So he had a truckload of gift to carry. The horses, which were all now relaxing all this time, now they have to carry all this to Mathura. So now try to imagine how emotional the Brajvasis must be when they see how much they must be missing, because all this time they were talking with him, and there he was, like we read, that he stayed few months going to the river, going to the mountain, to the forest, to the lakes, and all the Leela Sthalis doing parikrama. And now finally he is leaving. Probably he did not want to leave, but he has a job to do. He would love to be here among these people. So he leaves. So he describes some gifts which they are bringing. Nana upayanani. So various types of gifts they are bringing. So what are these? He says, Krishnasya pauganda kashora vilasa samaye eva yani sanchitani. He says they have collected various gifts for Krishna when he was a young boy, when he grew up, so when he was playing. They all had gifts for him. So now they are saying, take all this, give to him. Bahuratna swarna mudra mukta alankaradini yavne sati krishnasya paridhasya manani. So when Krishna was small, since then the Brajvasis were collecting gifts for Krishna, that when he will grow up and he will become young, we will give him this ornament, this cloth, all these types, that he will use them on his birthday, Krishna Janmashtami. We will give him nice gift. So they had collected, so now they brought all that out. So Bahur Ratna, various types of gems, gold means golden ornaments, mudra, also some coins, golden coins, and mukta, pearls, alankar, some jewelry. So all this they are bringing. Yavane sati krishnasya paridhasya manani. That when Krishna becomes youthful, then he will put them on. But now they realize that he is not coming back here, so why keep them with us? All this time they were storing and they will give him. But now they lost hope that he is not coming, so let him take back to Mathura. Maybe some of this they bought in Mathura, right? Or some people came from Mathura to sell here, they bought from them. So tadatu tad viyogat teshu mamata tyagat tani eva upayanattvena kalpitani jnayani. So now when they are in separation from Krishna and they know that Krishna is not coming back, so then they became detached from this. Previously they were very attached to these things, that we will give it to Krishna when he is there. Because people try like that sometimes may not be in the rich people, but people who do not have much money, then they hope when my son will get married, I want to give this gift to him. So they collect money for that, for some special occasion. So like that they were also hoping like that, Krishna will get married, then we will give him this gift. So now they realized that it is not happening. So they mamata tyaga. So then they considered that this is a gift now for him. And they brought various types of gifts. So this is what Nanda Maharaj prayed. Nanda Deo Nuragena Pravochan Ashrulochana. So Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Brijvasis, they spoke with teary eyes to Uddhava. And this is very amazing what they are saying. So much humility in separation. They say, Manaso vrittayo nasyu Krishna padambujashrayaha vacho vidhaya nirnamnam kayastat pravanadishu. So it's saying that let our mind always remain fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. So our manasa vritti, the vrittis of our mind, be under the shelter of Krishna's feet. And our speech should always sing his names. Vacho vidhainir namnam. And our body should be engaged in bowing down to him, because now we cannot do any other service to him. So we have three types of activities with our mind, with our speech, and with our body. So all three, they are engaging in the service of Krishna. Manaso vrittayo nesu Krishna padambujashraya vacho abhidhainir namnam kayastat pravananeshu. So this is how a devotee is, that he wants his mind, body, speech remains in the service of Bhagavan. So bho ayusman uddhava avayor mata pitros tadrishepi महारूप गुणशील समुद्रे अपि बालके महाकठोरत्वम आसीद अधुनापि वर्तते. So they are saying, as if Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda is speaking, he says that, O Uddhava, aviyor mata pitro tadrishe api, that we are Mata and Pita, both of us, and we had a very harsh behavior toward Krishna. Although he was so nice, he was so beautiful, and he was well behaved. He was an ocean of good qualities and beauty. Maharupa guna shila samudre api balake mahakathoratvam eva asid. He says we were very rough in dealing with him. We did not love him. That's why he left us. And adhuna api vartate eva. And we are still like that. We don't have any devotion, bhakti towards him. Tadanim yad bahutar sneha lalanadikam kritam tat sarvam kritimam eva iti adhuna avgatam. Says when Sri Krishna was there and we did take care of him, we were very affectionate towards him. But actually now we realize that that was just all fake. It was not real. We did not have real love for him. It was artificial. It was only like an imitation. Why they are saying? He says, yattad virehepi avabhyam jivyate. He says, if we actually had love for him, then how is that we are still living? That is the proof that we have no love for him. If we actually had any trace of love for Krishna, we would have died by now. How can we live without person whom we love? So any example like that? So he says, Pita khalu jagati ekaha saeva Dashratha. He says, in this whole universe there has been only one father worth the name father, and that was King Dashratha. Why? Ya putram ramam viduragatam shrutva eva pranam statyaja. So you know that Maharaj Dasarath, he wanted to make Bhagavan Ram as the king. He wanted to transfer his post to him, and he thought he is old now and he will take Vanprastha. But then Kekai approached him and he says, you have to give me 2 boons. And then she asked that Bharat should become king, is her son, and Ram should go to the exile for 14 years. Why 14? I don't know. Why this magical number? So when Dasarath heard this, he fainted. Could not, he had so much love for Ram that even these words were like an arrow to his heart. He fainted on the spot. And then when he came out to consciousness, he begged that please ask something else. Don't ask this. How can you ask? I have no problem making Bharat as the king, but sending Ram to exile, how can I do this? He is so nice, so obedient, ocean of all good qualities, and everybody loves him, and you want to send him to exile. And Kekai said, well, if you want to give me my boon, then this is the only thing I want. So he could not get up from the bed. Then he called his chariot driver and he said, because Ram also came and he tried to preach to Ram, and he says, no, I will follow, I will go. I don't want your word to go false. So I will go. Otherwise, people will say that Dasarath did not keep his word, and I cannot hear that my father could not fulfill his promise to his wife. I cannot tolerate that. I will go. So then next day when he was leaving, he called the chariot driver. He said, you take him to the forest and make him go around, and by the evening bring him back. And then Dasarath was thinking that this will happen. So then this Sumant, the name of the chariot driver, he took. And then when he was leaving, then Sita said, I cannot stay here. What will I do here without you? I got married to you, and now you live in forest and I live in the palace. How is that possible? So he tried to persuade her not to come in the forest. How will you live? You are a princess. There is no AC there. Mosquitoes will be, and no good food. What will you eat? He says, if you can live, I can live. So she insisted, and then Lakshman said, you are going, you need one servant, I will come. So then he also went. So he said, you take them around, show them some places, bring them back. But when they reached the forest, then Ram said, okay, now you go, you leave us here. And he said, no, but King Dasarath said I should bring you back. He says, there is no going back. So the poor guy, he was thinking that he is going to bring them back, and this was the order, but this did not happen. So he says, how will I go back now? How will I show my face to Dasarath Maharaj without Ram? So he waited whole day. He came in the evening when nobody sees him. And then he went to Dasarath crying. So when Dasarath heard that he did not come, he died immediately. So that is what he is referring to here. He says, Saeva Dasharatho ya putram ramam viduragatam srutva eva pranas tatyaj. That this Dasarath had so much love for Bhagavan Ram that when he heard that Ram has not come back and he is going to be in the forest, then he did not survive even 1 second more. Then he understood that he will not come back now. He had a hope. And that's what he told to the chariot driver, that bring him back. But this did not happen. So this is what Nanda Maharaj is now remembering and comparing. He says, Avayostu tasmin putre Krishne prem gandho api nasti. He says that in our case, we are supposed to be the parents of Krishna, but we don't have even a little iota of love for him. Therefore, ateva abhigya chudamanir asmat putrah sa swananurupa putrau parityajya parmeshwaratvena atarkya vichitratvad anyani eva devaki vasudavo putrau chakara. So he says that Krishna, who is very smart, very intelligent, although he is our son, because Nanda Maharaj never knew that he is not his son. So he says, our son, Krishna, is very intelligent. When he found out that we are not suitable parents for him, so he left us and found suitable parents in Vasudeva and Devaki. So that shows that we have no love for him. So this is the limit of humility. How a devotee becomes so humble. Instead of feeling proud that we are parents of Krishna, we did this for him, that for him, he says that we are not worthy of being his present, and that's why he left us. So you see, they are not finding fault with Krishna. They are finding fault with themselves. That's how devotees are. They are not dosadarshi. So swa ananurupa pitarau parityajya parmeshwaratvena. He says he is like Parmeshwara. They are not saying he is Parmeshwara, but Parmeshwara is like them. He is intelligent, he knows. So atarkya vichitratvad. Because one may say, even then, why should they leave you? Nobody leaves their parents. Okay, you don't have love for him, but he is your son. He should have some responsibility towards you. Why should he leave you? How can you justify that? So he says, he is like God and no one can understand his mind. He is beyond logic, atarkya. So we don't know, but this is what we think. So much trust, so much love that they cannot see any flaw in him. He says he must have some good reason for that, atarkya, which is beyond our reasoning, and vichitra. He is amazing person. So how can we understand why he has to do that? So Devaki Vasudeva Pitarau Chakara. So he says that he has accepted Devaki and Vasudeva, their parents, and tadhi avam, tadhik avam. So fee on us, because in the three worlds there is not anyone who is more unfortunate than me and Yashoda, Nanda Yashoda. So then he says that in this life we are utterly unfortunate, but then in some future life maybe we will get the chance to have him. And then he prays. So that's how he sees the sloka, this and next. So we'll read that next class. There's some more commentary. Any question on this? Indra.
Pranam Babaji. I want
Very good question. So the reason is that Krishna did not want, and there are different reasons for that. Krishna did not want, one of the reasons we have spoken, that his enemies know that he has something to do with Vrajvasis, otherwise they will come and trouble them. So he did not want that Krishna had any love for them. Because his fear was that Jarasandha will come and he will attack. And if he knows that Krishna loves Vrajvasis, then if you have your enemy, then one of the way to take revenge is that you kidnap the enemy's children or relative. So therefore he did not want that. That Vrajvasis are troubled by his enemies. Krishna Saran Baba. Yes, you have something to say?
Yes, but did the Vrajavasi know about that? Did they know that Krishna didn't want it?
Yes. That's why I sent a messenger. Otherwise he should have said, you can come and see me here. He did not say. Krishna Saran Baba.
Babaji, in this last sentence that was discussed, where it says Parameshvaratena Atarka Vichitratva, does this Parameshvaratena imply that from Nanda Maharaj's perspective as he's speaking, he's considering Krishna as the Parameshvara?
Yeah, it looks like from the commentary, but later on the commentator himself will deny this. Because if you read the next verse, then that goes against this idea. It says, Karambhir Brahma Mananam Yatra Kwapi Ishwarachaya Mangal Charitavidani Ratirna Krishna Ishware. So he is using here two words, that by the will of Ishvara we may have Rati in Krishna, and then he is calling Krishna also as Ishvara. So this is a problematic statement. This will say that by his will we will again have Rati for him, but it says Kwapi Ishwarichaya and Krishna Ishware. So that Ishvara twice which is being used, obviously it doesn't have the same meaning. Otherwise it seems strange. So there the word Ishvara does not mean Ishvara as God. I think he will explain that, if I am not wrong. So therefore here Paramatmatvena means like Paramatma, because everywhere you know that Narayana Samo Gunai, according to the Gargacharya, so he is keeping that in mind. Mohini.
My question is, what does this exactly mean when it says Krishna puts his feet on the breasts of the gopis?
What does it mean? It means that he puts the feet on the breast.
But this is somehow very unpractical. I mean, you don't see that in the real life. No one puts the...
Yeah, this is impractical now in the modern times. But in the Rasa-Shastra it is very practical. Different culture have different practicality and impracticalities. Yes.
Could you explain what this word was here? No, I lost it. Asmaputra Svan Anurupo, or is it Sva
Ananurupo. Ananurupo means unsuitable. Anurup means suitable. Ananurup.